Okay, question and answer time. Who has a question tonight? Yeah.
So as a comic, how do you go about like feeling out an audience?
How do you go about feeling out an audience? Wow, that's a big, broad question, and I've got several answers to it. First of all, what's the most important thing about stand-up comedy?
Relationship with the audience.
Relationship with the audience. You guys have got that. I've drilled it into your head. That is the most important thing. Okay? So first of all, how do you have your attention on them? Noticing them instead of worrying about what's the next joke or whatever. You have to be familiar enough. And so I suggest people do my rehearsal process that does two things. It takes your jokes that we've written and turns them into picture, sounds, and feelings, turns them into scenes in your head, so you're telling the story of your material at all times. And when you're telling the story with normal memory, you can notice people and keep going, whereas if you've memorized the words, you've got to talk to yourself, talk to the audience, talk to yourself, talk to the audience. So we've also discussed, you guys in the class, about if you rehearse and practice at the same time, you rehearse the critic into your show. So we want to get rid of that critic. That's the other thing. So beyond that, that gets solved by my rehearsal process. Both of those things get solved by the rehearsal process. There's other things that you can do. One is watch the other comics before you. Sit there and take notes, especially if they're riffing with people, and oh, that's Robert over there and he's a doctor, and that's June over there and she's a lawyer, and so you're not asking the same questions if you happen to riff, okay? Thing I used to do when no one went on before me, I used to just stand and listen to the crowd before the MC went out. I don't know how to explain that to you, but I would just stand there and just listen, and you feel the energy. People are rowdy over here and over there, and some people are real quiet, and people are getting drinks over here. You just kind of get the lay of the land by listening and looking and just noticing where they are. Then also watching the MC. How is the MC doing? The next thing you can do is riff. You can always riff to get to know where the audience is at. If you don't riff, you only do material, and there's a lot of comedians that work that way. It's opening joke. Opening joke is so important. We used to call them fish line jokes. You throw the joke out into the crowd and see if it hooked them. Then you knew this crowd. You could play them in your normal way. But if they weren't going for your first joke, I've seen comedians change their entire hour every couple of years and stuff, but they find that opening joke that kills and really opens up the audience. They keep that for like a career because it is so useful at reading the audience. So that's what you want to do when you're out there. First of all, like I said, to have that, you have to have attention on the audience in order to read them, and that's answered by the rehearsal process. Then, to recap, I think I said, watch the other comics and the MC before you, then listen to the audience, that's always a good thing, and then riff, hello, what's your name, what do you do for a living? And then opening joke to get that information, and then stay in touch with them for the entire show and kind of in a micro way, move with them and develop a rhythm with them, and then it becomes a show that is a dialogue rather than a presentation.